machine can be handled, money can be handled, marketing can be handled, materials can be handled. Manpower is the biggest challenge for any entrepreneurship. So the human mind is got a lot of emotions,
very complex,
and complex emotions. So unless you are a trained psychology or these things, and बाहर से दिखते समय सब सेम दिखता है. Somebody will come and say this is the concern. So you may say एक concern है तो ये कर लो, but बाद में समझ में आ जाएगा after some time this is not a concern, there is something else. So there is a lot of human quality, especially in India. We are a country, foreigners ruled us for a very long time. They found very easy because there was no unity. So what has happened at the core level? What has to be done is work has to be the worship. Work comes much above anything else. This kind of value system has to be drawn into the Indian work culture. Somewhere what we tend to do that the Indian work culture, the work comes as important. After some time, there is a beautiful vision. There is a beautiful story. Each guy who comes and works with you over a period of time say, where am I in the story? Becomes for him more important rather than the story is important. Where am I in the story is important to him rather than whether the story is important. How do you handle this situation is what the dynamics of the entrepreneur comes after some time. He is also to be important, but ultimately more than him, the work is important. So this kind of work culture most probably is there good in the US and other, but we have to drive it into the Indian ecosystem.
So what we've done to add to that is that to sort of bridge the gap to this unconditioning, the best principle that we realized was go to business schools, but not the top level business schools and not in the big cities. So go to business schools, let's say if it's in Pune, then go to the, let's say the third best business school, the grade 3 level of business schools or grade 2 level, not the big ones because they're too expensive to recruit. Get these freshers and condition them and train them to literally, give them positions of importance from day one. When you immediately put responsibility on a person, he suddenly becomes aware. So we've tried that, and I would say that 100% has worked, but it has worked in many situations. So I've got young managers who are like 23 and 24 who are in charge of one particular department. A guy in Bombay responsible for entire Bombay operations, 24 years old. But somebody says, oh, you're mad, why are you giving him so much of responsibility? Trust me, he manages much better than probably a more experienced person also. So we've done things like that, innovative things like that. And another thing that we did to bring in a better amount of culture in terms of, let's say, discipline, in terms of work culture and things, we've hired a white man, a guy from the UK, to head our company as a CEO of the company. And he manages, he brought him specifically because, I think it's improving that the culture in the organization becoming very work-oriented. And to the extent that people are managing their time better. Because they look at him and he trains them how to, so we're investing a lot of money in that. But the idea is not really to keep him forever. The idea is because he himself is bringing about this change in people. The way he looks at sanitation, the way he imparts, communicates to people about sanitation, about the business, it's a completely different ballgame. It's something which I can't do. So we've done that, and it gives me, I feel good to say that, we've hired a foreigner in a country when they ruled us for so many 100 years. And now it's an opportunity for us to have someone work for us. But, jokes apart, it does definitely bring about a sea of change in the organization, in the seriousness, and also, as I said, attracting talent. When you see that there is a foreigner working in your company, automatically, I don't know what it is. This is this whole phobia of thing that we have towards the white scale. Oh, they've got a Gora who's the CEO of the company. Very good. That's got to be a good company. You must work on it. So you get talent automatically. So all he has to do is literally, it is like that. And you have to try these things. I'm not saying that this is the best way, but it's one of the ways. Secondly, I don't have a particular system that I could go to or a particular industry that, for example, if Venky wants to have somebody, he can go to McDonald's today probably and get a CEO from McDonald's. I don't have anybody like that. There's no preset, no benchmark. So I had to look outside. And I've managed to somehow get somebody, and I hope it works. Let's see how it goes. But for the time being, it seems to be okay. He's doing a good job, and I'm very happy. He's a very nice man also, and I think it's going to change the way people look at us as a company.
I just want to share as the last thing, again and again repetitive. Nice time in India to be entrepreneurs. The other station में खड़े हो, भीड़ आता है, आपको ढकल देता है. थोड़ी देर के बाद आप पूछते हो किसने धक्का मारा. The धक्का can be for good, the धक्का can be for bad. But I believe at this time, Anybody with an entrepreneurial tag on his mind and it's a good idea, there is a huge amount of support available in the country. Whether it be venture capital, whether it be media, whether it be business schools. Recently, ISB called us and said, Vadapav has been selected as a case study and is going to be part of the syllabus. I said, Vadapav becoming part of ISB is awesome. ऐसा सब चीज इंडिया में हो रहा है. So this is the right time. Otherwise, a small Vadapav entrepreneur or दूसरा toilet man sitting and talking in a forum like TiE. That's awesome. India का इस system और एक time बहुत अच्छा है. How long it will last? I don't know. 15 years, 20 years, but this is the right time for anybody to get inspired with the idea. Go ahead and do it. किया तो भी suffocate, नहीं किया तो भी suffocate होके मरने वाले हो. किया है तो क्या हो जाएगा? At least you'll say I tried and failed. But it's good. It's a beautiful experience. That's the only last one.
I'd like to say that aspire to be number one in the number two business.
Great. So on behalf of all of us here and TiE, I'd like to thank Rajeev and Venky for spending their time with us today. For those of you who don't know, Venky stays in Kalyan,
New
Mumbai. So it's been a huge drive for him, and Rajeev stays even further. He stays in Pune, so he just came down this morning, and he reached here at what 8ish? 8:30 now. So I'd really like to say a thank you to them for their time, for the effort they put into this session. Thanks a lot, and thanks to all of you for coming here today. I think there's a feedback form that has been distributed to all of you. Please give us your feedback on that so that we can plan these sessions a little more effectively. So today it was great having Rajeev and Venky, but maybe going forward, if there's something in particular that you all are looking at. So today we have a lot of people from the catering field up here, right? Am I right? Okay. A lot of people from catering, logistics. So if there's something that you all are specifically looking at, some particular sector, we can look at doing a session around that going forward. Great, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Doctor.